So aside from modules, you can also get more damage to your weapons through set bonuses given by some external components. Take for example the Annihilation set that you can farm from hard mode Devourer that grants you bonus firearm damage proportional to the ratio of your health lost. It gives you a plus 26% firearm damage bonus when you are at 50% health, and this set will be super busted with the Descendant named Glay. Aside from set bonuses, you can also increase the level of your weapons through the weapon level transmission from the workbench. Increasing a weapon's level will grant it additional DPS, and right now the max level for all weapons is at level 100. The level transmission requires 2 materials, and that is a higher level weapon which will be the catalyst for your weapon that you want to level up, and a phase exchanger which you can research from the Magister NPC. Take note, the ultimate weapons need a gold phase exchanger, and rare weapons need the normal variant. Now, there are different sort of materials needed to craft these items, and it depends also on how many you will craft. Crafting just one will require super alloy for the normal variant, while the precise version will require the liquid metal. If you will be crafting 4 of the phase exchangers, then it will require you to either super alloy or the multi-composite receivers. While for the gold version, it will require high precision exchange components to craft. The material requirements are weird, but I don't mind it since all these crafting components can be gathered easily by dismantling standard, rare, or ultimate weapons. In my case, a good farming spot is the ambush point in Sterile Land hard mode, wherein you can farm a lot of rare weapons that you can dismantle to get these crafting components. Another thing that you should consider in the research lab is the control axis. These enhancement materials also gives out decent DPS to your gun, and like the phase exchanger, its materials to craft are easy to get since you just need to dismantle weapons to craft these enhancements. Once you have these control axes, you can use it on the workbench to re-roll the stats of your weapons through the weapon readjustment feature. The highest DPS weapon I have right now is the Tamer, but its stat roll sucks, and I'm going to work my way on getting good rolls for this weapon. Right now, the weapon that I think has some of the best stat rolls is my Thunder Cage. In this weapon, I have managed to roll firearm attack bonus, which is the top priority. The next best stats in my opinion are the critical hit and critical damage bonuses. These also increase the DPS of your weapons, especially if you have a weapon like the Thunder Cage, which is decent critical hit based stats and high fire rate. In fact, the Thunder Cage gets more boost from the critical hit stats than the Tamer, as it has way more base critical hit stats than the machine gun. The last stat that I have rolled is the bonus firearm attack against Colossus, as most of my guns prioritize in killing void intercept bosses. Now, some players would suggest that it would be good to roll an elemental attack to your gun, but I disagree with this as it will mess up the damage of your guns, especially if you are dealing against enemies that have strong resistance against the element you have rolled in your gun. Based on my experience, it's the worst thing you can do, especially facing against Colossus in hard mode with huge elemental resistance. The safest would be damage against Colossus or other stats that you deem useful for your guns. There are also bonuses such as bonus firearm against specific factions, which makes you gun better against open world areas or even against interception bosses in hard mode. Also, there is a bonus that increases the trigger rate of status bonuses, and what this does is increase the chance of hitting an elemental attack with your weapon. The good thing about elemental attack is that it's somehow additive to the physical damage of your gun. You might not see an increase in DPS when you equip these elemental mods, but they do boost your damage by a ton, especially if the faction or boss that you are facing are weak against it. Weak point damage is also a good stat roll in my opinion, and provides an insane buff to your weapon while hitting the weak spots of enemies. There's also round per magazine that gives your gun extra ammunition capacity, but I don't usually go for it since it's better to use a module for this. The other stats like weapon change and recoil are just personal preference. To make it short, go for a gold version of firearm attack, critical hit, and critical damage first. The 4th slot is optional, and you can go for Colossus bonus damage if you're hunting void intercept bosses. What I did in my Thunder Cage to get these stat rolls is first I aimed for at least 1 gold stat that I needed. After getting a gold firearm attack bonus, I lock it, which then increases the number of control axes needed. After getting another one, I lock both gold stats and just rinse and repeat the process until I got all my desired stat rolls. I have over 200 gold versions of control axes before getting these stat rolls, and you may get lucky, or worse is that you'll end up spending more control axes. That's how RNG works in every looter shooter, but the good thing is that control axes are easily farmed in the game. So that's all about it. I hope that you find this video helpful. If you want to check out more of the first Descendant guides from us, then please subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again in our next video. Squad Leader, signing off.